Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So I'm finally going to be doing a get ready with me. I feel like it's been such a hot minute, and honestly it really has. And so I just want to play around with some new makeup, but also just some makeup that I pulled from my shop, my stash, and basically just kind of catch up with you guys, ask how you guys are doing, that kind of thing. So please don't mind the hair. I really did not feel like letting it down because it is so hot, but hopefully whenever I finish my makeup, everything will come together. So firstly, I did pick up the new e.l.f. liquid, what is this? The Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. They did have this at my Target, and I'm really excited to try this out. I was originally going to skip on this, but I decided to check it out mainly because some people have been saying that this is pore filling, right? So it's really smoothing on the skin, but that also it kind of leaves a little bit of like a tacky finish to the skin, or like a grippy feeling. And I am all about gripping primers as of lately. I don't know if it has to do with summer or if it's just kind of like the texture that I've been enjoying lately, but I have been all about gripping primers. So I'm anxious to see how this looks. I mean, it went on really nicely on the skin. I definitely think that it does leave your skin feeling really nice and smooth, and we shall see how makeup sits on top of it. I'm also gonna go in, I love this stuff so much. This is the NYX Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh Spray. I have seriously like such little product left with this, so let me just put this on. And then for foundation, I do have the new one from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint. So it says that it's a skin tint with vitamin C, and I do have the shade 120. I have really been enjoying this, you guys. I think that this looks really beautiful on the skin at initial application, but I also think that it wears pretty well throughout the day. It is pretty glowy. I definitely have to make sure that I tell you guys that. It is pretty glowy. But I think if you pair it with the right products and the right primers, the right powder, everything like that, I do think that even if you have oily skin, you can probably make this one work for you. So I'm actually using, I got this sponge at Dollar Tree, and it is so good. I don't remember the brand exactly, so I apologize for that, but it's just like this green one, and it has like the perfect amount of bounce to it, but it also does a really great job at blending in the product. It also doesn't, like, I think, soak up too much product, which is really nice. So yeah. Okay, so here's one coat on the skin. I like it, but I'm gonna go ahead and add just like a little bit more, mainly because I just want like a little bit fuller coverage, but this does build pretty nicely. I would say this is a pretty decent light to medium coverage product. I think it does a really great job at concealing redness, but if you have like a lot of discoloration, like darker spots or anything like that, like I don't know how much of that it'll cover up, but I think it does a good job at concealing my redness, which is nice. But like if you have acne, I don't think it's going to really cover any of that up. Okay, so really enjoy this foundation from Maybelline. I think that it looks really nice. It's definitely going to be nice for summer because I feel like it's really nice and lightweight. So let's go ahead and go in with concealer. So this is nothing new, you guys, but I swear Emily Noel can sell me anything. She is just so gorgeous, and she's so humble and down to earth. I genuinely just love her as a person, but also I love her channel. I find her channel to be just very comforting. And so I picked this up based off of her recommendation. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer. So this is a stick concealer, and it is very, it's supposed to be pretty hydrating, and that white part in the center is almost supposed to be like a hydrating core. I picked up the shade Fair 10. So I'm just going to, oh wow, this is really nice and creamy. I thought I was gonna have like some resistance given that it's like a cream, but I'm really not having any issues. That's really nice. Wow, I'm kind of shocked by that. So I'm going to use this sponge. We'll see if this is able to blend out this product. I'm gonna add like a little bit more. And I think I might use a brush. This is the e.l.f. Duo Complexion or Complexion Duo brush. Okay, so first impressions, this is nice, but it's pretty light coverage. So I would recommend going in with a brush, and then if you like the finish that a sponge gives you, which is like my preference, for instance, maybe use the sponge to like do a final blend. But I do think that a brush will help you kind of get the most coverage out of this product. But I do plan on going over this with a sponge, again, just to kind of make sure everything is blended nicely into one another. But I mean, I think that that looks okay. It's definitely not a favorite. I think it'll be nice for like quick days. So far, I mean, the concealer is okay. It's definitely, like I said, it's not a favorite, but I think it will be good for something quick and very simple to just kind of blend in to the skin. It gave like okay coverage, can build it up, which is really nice. But again, don't expect anything like super full coverage from that product. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and set the skin because I am going in with a powder bronzer slash contour product. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I'm looking very pale, but I did use my CoverGirl Clean Professional Loose Powder. I'm trying to finish this up. It has been updated as far as the packaging goes. So mine looks a little bit different because I do have the older packaging. And then to set underneath my eyes, I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, and I do have the shade Light Pink. And then I did go in with just a little bit of powder foundation just to kind of add some additional coverage. But for powder bronzer or contour, what have you, I picked up this new product from Physicians Formula. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Contour Palette. So here's what it looks like. It does have like a contour shade, a bronzer shade, and then kind of like a highlighting powder. And again, I purchased this because of Emily Noel. So let's try this out. I think what I'm gonna do is probably mix the contour and the bronzer together because I'm not a huge like contoury girly. So let's just try mixing the two. And I'm using my BK Beauty 107 brush. And I mean, you can definitely see that impact already. That's that basically bronzer contour made to the skin. And I'm really trying to blend it into the hairline, for instance, because I want to make sure that it doesn't look like too harsh, like I just kind of placed it there. So I really work in my bronzer because I don't want it to look, again, like I just kind of placed it there and that it's not super blended. That looks really, really pretty though. Wow. I really like that. I'm trying to like really blend out this side here, but I think that looks so gorgeous. Wow. And really work it in on the nose. Okay, then go in with your powder brush and just kind of like stamp over all of the places that you put the bronzer. And then let's do the same thing and kind of do underneath the jawline. Okay, I really like the way that this looks. I think that this really just kind of bronzed the skin so quickly and so beautifully. So I think I really like this. It also, just be forewarned that this definitely does have that classic butter bronzer scent. So it's that coconutty, kind of like sunscreeny type of scent. So if that bothers you, stay clear, because this definitely has that scent. But I noticed that that scent doesn't linger on or anything like that, so I tend to not have that issue. I also really love that smell. So anyways, I really love the way that that looks. So I'm gonna do something a little bit unconventional, but I'm gonna go in with a liquid blush now. I just didn't have really any new blushes that I wanted to use, and I don't think I've featured like using the Juvia's Place liquid blushes on my channel yet, like actually using them. I've spoken about them before, but I haven't used one yet. And I think this is a true testament of whether or not it's a good liquid blush if I put it on top of powder. This is the shade Soft Tulip. And so let me just start with that much. I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty 125 face brush, and I'm just going to lightly just start working this into the skin. I'm not pressing too hard because, again, I don't want to disturb any of that foundation I just put down, and especially since I have powder on, I don't want to, you know, make it look like too separated or anything. But I mean, this is blending perfectly on top of powder, so that is always a good sign. I think that is so, so pretty. Soft Tulip is literally such a beautiful, beautiful shade. I think it looks so youthful on the skin, and I'm very impressed with how this is performing on top of powder. So far, so good. And I think if you have these blushes and you are curious to see if they perform on powder, like on top of powdered or set skin, they definitely do. So now I'm gonna go in with just my sponge because those are super pigmented, and just trying to kind of make them a little bit more seamless. Okay, wow, I am obsessed with that. I think that that looks so, so beautiful. So far so good on the complexion. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some next steps off camera. I'm gonna do some eyeshadow primer as well as do my brows, and then we will move on to an eye look. Okay, so I went ahead and did my brows off camera as well as some eyeshadow primer. So I did go in with my Too Faced Shadow Insurance for my eyeshadow primer, and then for brows, I actually used this brow pencil from AOA Studios. This is called their Sculpting Brow Pencil, and I do wear the shade medium brown in this one. So for an eyeshadow look, I kind of like the blue that I'm wearing, so I thought I'd play around with Odin's Eye and Lauren May Beauty's Sea Talk palette. It is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful color story for the summertime, so I felt like let's go ahead and play around with maybe I can just put this really beautiful blue all over the lid. I want to do something really simple and not too over the top. I'm just not really feeling that type of eye look today. I'm actually going to pull for another palette. I use this seriously all the time. It is such a staple within my collection. This is from Dominique Cosmetics, and this is her Transition palette. So it literally has, like, it's an all matte palette, and I think it's all of the staple mattes that anyone can have and need and use in their collection. And so I often use this as a companion palette. I think this palette from Odin's Eye is really pretty, but it does really, like, I feel limited with this palette and I feel stunted, and I think that's why I don't reach for it that much. So let's kind of set the base down with this palette and see what we can come up with. So I think I'm going to go in with the shade Caramel, which is this shade right here, and I'm just going to start putting this into the crease and just start, you know, kind of bringing this and using this as my transition shade. I enjoy color, but I feel like I'm less intimidated by color whenever I lay down some neutrals first. I just don't think that a full-on colorful eye looks good on me. I feel like something more subtle looks better on me. I'm not sure why that is, but that's just what I feel most comfortable in. Okay, and then I'm gonna tap very lightly. I'm going into the Oden's Eye palette now, into the shade Night Swim. It's this beautiful navy blue color, and I'm just gonna start kind of slowly building this up. I don't want it to look like super blue, although I feel like it's getting there already so quickly, but that's okay, I guess. I feel like this blue just kind of ends up looking kind of gray once it's blended. So, I mean, I guess that's okay. So we saw Oppenheimer last night, finally. I know it's been out for a while, but there's just been, like, of course we knew that we wanted to see Barbie first. Like, that was my primary interest, was seeing that movie. But it was, I mean, it was pretty good. I don't think it was as good as everybody says it was. Like, I was kind of, like, both me and my husband were kind of like, I mean, it was good, but I don't know, that movie just makes me really sad because of, obviously, like, the impact that bomb had, and I don't know, it just kind of makes me sad, you know? Like, I know it was kind of like a moral / ethical dilemma, you know? Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, do you kill thousands of people, or do you save your own, you know? And clearly we saved our own, which is obviously fine, right? But it makes you think, you know? And, like, I can't imagine, I feel like right now we're still living in a war for sure, as far as like what we're going through domestically. I think that we have a lot within our own country that we deal with, but I am very grateful that our lives are not as impacted as they were back then, you know, by everything that's going on in the world. I definitely think we're going through that with, like, climate change, for instance. I mean, look at all of the wildfires that have been happening. But as far as, like, actually feeling like we're part of a world war or anything like that, like, that must be so scary. And I understand that there are countries out there still to this day that is everyday life for them, and my heart goes out to them. That breaks my heart that some people have to live like that. And so I pray and I hope that they are safe, because unfortunately that's really all that we can do, you know? So yeah, sorry to kind of switch it to a morbid subject, but I just wanted to mention that we saw that Oppenheimer movie, and I'm curious to know if y'all saw that movie. I'm sure you have. I mean, it's super popular. But what were your thoughts? Did you think it was as good as everyone was kind of saying it was going to be? I mean, it was even rated so high. And I thought it was a good movie, and I thought that he did a really great job, but I still was just kind of like, I don't know, this didn't feel as good of a movie as I was expected it to be because of the hype surrounding it, I guess. I still want to go see Barbie again. Like, I know that movie got so much hate and so much, like, I don't know, I feel like it was pretty polarizing. Like, people either loved it or they hated it. I was one that thoroughly enjoyed it. I really liked it. Is it my favorite movie of all time? Absolutely not, but I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought that I'm someone who, I may not wear a lot of color in my everyday life. I may not be someone who is out there as far as color wise. However, I love seeing color. I love something that's just visually pleasing, visually aesthetic, and I felt like that movie did that for me. I loved seeing just all of the color. It seriously felt like you were inside of Barbie Land anytime that Barbie Land was, you know, on the screen. I loved that aspect. And so I thought that that was really, really fun. By the way, I was talking through this. I went in with the shade Sea Spray and put that all over the lid. I did it pretty lightly. Let me add some more actually. I'll add it like closer to the lash line. I think what it is for me with this Odin's Eye palette, it's the mattes. Like I'm seriously looking at my eye right here and it is just so patchy. I kind of feel that Odin's Eye formula is overrated. I don't think it's that good. Like even the shimmer shades, like for instance, this one, Smoky Pearl, this one right here, this is an absolutely stunning shimmer shade, but it creases so bad throughout the day. Like at the end of the day, it looks awful. So I just think that it's a little bit overrated. But now I'm gonna go in with mascara, and I'm gonna do this off camera because of course my camera battery, I'm scared of it dying. But I've been loving this mascara. It's just the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but it is the chocolate version. Really, really enjoy this one. I love that it's still subtle enough because it's a brown, but it still makes an impact. So let me apply this and then we will be back and we will put on a lip color. Okay, so we are back and I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some setting spray because I of course want this makeup to last all day. And I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is the summer solstice version. I know this is so old and I'm still using it, but obviously Urban Decay All Nighter is just a classic. I love the way the summer solstice one smells. I wish that they had this one all year round. And then for lip color, I wanted something super basic, super simple, because that's just what I've been going for lately. And this is the Lifter Gloss, but they recently came out with a new like candy shop collection or something like that. So this is the shade Peach Ring. I'm a little bit disappointed at how sheer this actually is. Like I thought it would be a little bit more peach looking on the lips, but it really isn't. It almost feels like a clear gloss. No, I guess you can tell that it's peachy on camera, but I really like this look. Doesn't this look so beautiful? My hair, I swear, I'm so sorry, but anyways, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you guys are doing so well. I hope that you're enjoying your summer, enjoying your season wherever you are. If you are back to school, I hope that you have a wonderful school year, whether you're a teacher, educator, if you are a parent of a student going back to school, or if you are a student yourself watching this video. I hope that you have a wonderful school year. I hope that everyone has a safe school year. And please comment below, which products have you been loving lately? What products are new that you've been wanting to test out? Really quick thoughts. I mean, I'm excited and looking forward to trying out the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I'm really looking forward to trying that out more. As far as the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint, really been enjoying this one as well. I'm gonna pay attention to see how this wears and if it performs even better paired with that e.l.f. primer. Really enjoy the Butter Bronzer Contour Palette from Physicians Formula. This is probably my favorite product that I tried today. I'm just so impressed with how this looked on this skin. So really excited to continue playing around with this one. I'm gonna keep playing around with the Neutrogena, what is this, Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer. I'm gonna keep playing around with it. I thought that it did okay, but I'm gonna have to play around with it and see how it wears, things like that. But my camera battery is dying. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna let y'all go. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!